Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of FTB Beyond. In today's episode, I want to get into some new things. I'd like to get into flight. Probably not creative flight, because I don't think we have the ability to do that just yet. But I'd like to get into some sort of flight option. I'd really love to get blizzes going. And I want to revamp our power network. Some of you guys were talking about this mod called Flux Networks, which I'd never used before, but I was looking into it, and it looks really cool. It's basically like a wireless power transfer system, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. The question is it going to be able to transfer power between dimensions? And if so, this will be super awesome. But I want to try and kind of sort this thing out and see if we can give this a go and see what we think. So to kind of get started with this, what we're going to have to do is smelt some redstone. So let's throw that in. No? Obtained by burning redstone. Is that, do you actually have to like burn it like in fire? Is that a thing? That would be very strange. I would, okay, we'll give it a go. We'll see if this works. Let's go somewhere that's not right next to our giant wooden house. Ah, that totally works. Okay. So you actually burn the redstone in fire. That's an interesting crafting mechanic. Okay, cool. So in that case, we'll get started that way. So you burn the redstone with fire in order for this to work, apparently. Okay, cool. So anyway, then what we'll need to make is we're going to have to make a flux controller. And for that, we're going to need a few of these flux cores, which means we're going to need some Eyes of Ender. I do have some blaze powder and blaze rods. Let me throw the blaze rods. We'll throw them into sag mill, let those do some work there. Quarry, by the way, has been doing some major work. We're finally getting decent amounts of resources. We're probably going to want to upgrade our reactor in the relatively near future. Also, I automated the fuel for the reactor, so this is now hooked into our refined storage system. It will automatically grab yellorium ingots from our refined storage system, and it will automatically pull out the cyanite, the waste product, basically, that the reactor generates. So anyway, let's go ahead and make some Eyes of Ender. I think we can start with 7. And then let's see, if we go here, we're going to have to make a bunch of these flux cores. There's 28. That should be enough to kind of get us started. And then we can use those to make flux blocks. Now, they're a little pricey. We're going to need Eyes of Ender for, like, all of these. Let's see. So I'm going to need 5 to make our flux core. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like so. And we'll make our flux controller. And this is essentially, from what I understand, this is basically the heart of your wireless power network. So I think I'm gonna put this guy right here, maybe? We'll just no, just kidding. It's transparent. That looks terrible. Oh, also, the mod pack has been updated. I am now on the most recent version of the pack, and all seems good. There's some new changes, some new additions to the pack, some tweaks and things like that. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's pretty. I'm excited. We now have RF Tools Dimensions, which is amazing. Let's create a new network. So we'll go here, and we can just call it my network because it's a single player world. Max, can I make this bigger? Can we say like that? I'm assuming. We'll try that. Either way, a dimensional transceiver has a max in-out capacity of 40,000 RF per tick. So even if that's only 256,000, that's still considerably more than a dimensional transceiver. Which reminds me, a lot of you said Tesseracts are a thing now that there's thermal expansion. No, Tesseracts are not a thing. They're going to be part of thermal dynamics once that's added, but King Lemming, the author of the mod, has said that he is going to change how they work a little bit. So Tesseracts, not actually a thing. Now, let's make another Flux block, and that actually completely causes me to run out of Flux cores. So, blaze powder. Got a little sulfur out of that too. Good, good, good. All right, let's make some more Eyes of Ender, and we can use that to make more Flux cores. I'll make as many of them as I can. There we go. And now, let's see. Plugs require 1, points require just redstone. Okay, so let's make the plug, which sends energy, like so. Okay, and then we're gonna want a couple of these receivers, which store energy. Let's just make, sure, that'll do. Oop, I can't type. There we go. All right, and let's try making a couple of these Flux points. Let's make like, I don't know, 4 of them for starters. That should be good. And then what we're gonna do is we'll break this guy. I'm going to grab 1 cobblestone block because we can fill that hole. And we'll put our Flux plug right here. And then we need to select our network. Okay? And this is now green, so it should be transferring RF. This is going to start filling up right now because the only thing pulling energy from there was my quarry, and the quarry is running off a dimensional transceiver right now. So we've got our network. This is all good. Everything seems to be going well here, but it doesn't have, I don't have anything to actually send the power to at the moment. So let's run off to our mining dimension. I'm still going to need the dimensional transceiver so that it can transfer the items, but what I would ultimately like to do, let's see, our portal should be over here. What I would ultimately like to do is basically have the power network be separate, because dimensional transceivers are expensive. Like, they're kind of pricey to make. It adds up. So if I can get away with using these plugs instead, or these points, that would be much more ideal. So let's try and put this here. Right click on that. Network. Yep. And now it is, okay, it is getting power. So we are getting power through dimensions. That means we can turn that one off. Oh, that's awesome. That is fantastic. So the power transfer does work through dimensions, and these plugs are, or these points, are way, way cheaper than a dimensional transceiver. And it gives me, oh, wrong door. And it gives me a lot more, a lot more potential energy transfer rate as well. So that's fantastic. I'm actually really happy about that. Okay, cool. So we've got that taken care of. Now I want to get into flight because there's some nether resources I could really use. And nether resources, much easier to obtain if you can fly. So let's do a couple things here. Jetpacks are a thing. Okay, we've got these kind of conductive iron jetpacks, and we can make some of those. Let's just grab some iron. Let's grab some redstone, and let me start making some conductive iron. We'll just toss that in here. Let that start smelting up. Okay, while we're working on that, let's also look, if we look at Reliquary, what I'd ultimately like to do is I'd like to make this guy, the Rending Gale. And I think I have basically everything I need to make this, with the exception of the Eye of the Storm, and this is a drop from charged creepers, which are obviously relatively rare, but there's a pretty awesome item here, the Hunter's Handgun. When combined with Storm ammunition, will charge creepers for us. So this will make it a lot easier for us to get charged creepers. Let's see if we can make this guy, and there we go. All right, now, Hunter's Handgun, we've got it. And this thing is basically a gun. Doesn't have any ammunition right now, though, so that's kind of an issue. So what we need to do is we need to make Storm magazines, Storm shots specifically. We'll make, say, 3 magazines worth of that, and then we just combine that with those empty magazines we made before. That will give us our Storm magazines. And then, if we just shift right-click, that will load the gun. And I believe if I fire with right-click, there we go. So that basically allows us to get charged creepers. Now, the question is, how do we kill said charged creepers? Because I have looting 3 on my sword, but I don't know that I can actually get close enough to properly kill them without them exploding on me. So let's see. I see some creepers on my map. I don't know if any of them are actually above ground, though. I'm guessing they're probably all underground. Okay, there's a creeper right there. So, shoot. He's charged now. Okay, I killed him. So I can kill them with my sword without them exploding on me. So that's good. That's good. Okay, that's very... Oh, I'm on fire. Go away, fire. That thing is so loud. All right, let's try again. Fire. There we go. Still no thing. But you know what? That's all right. As long as I can get creepers charged in this manner, what I can do is just wait for night. I'll go above ground, and we'll just do it that way. As long as I can one-shot them with my sword without them exploding, we'll be just fine. So let me wait for nighttime. Oh, and actually, that reminds me, I should probably talk very briefly about this. A couple of you have asked why my clock, which is now in the lower right-hand corner, keeps changing. Well, it's like, why does it keep being day 0, day 1? Sometimes I use the time set command to like either like if I'm waiting for it to be night rather than just like AFKing for 5 minutes. I really have no problem with just using time set night. Or if I want to take a screenshot at a certain time of day for like a thumbnail, I will use the time set command for that as well. And whenever you use the time set command, it resets it to day 0. So in the interest of full disclosure, that's what's going on. Looks like it is night though. Let me see if I can find some creepers here. We'll see if we can maybe get an Eye of the Storm, and then I'll come back to you. All right, guys, I am back, and I've got one. I got one. I have one Eye of the Storm. I should probably look. Is there anything else I actually want to use this for? There's the Rending Gale, there's the Tome of Alkahestry, which is decent, but not amazing. I think really it's just the Rending Gale for the time being, and I can worry about the Tome of Alkahestry later. The Tome of if the tome wasn't like completely bugged, or it's okay. Basically, it allows you to trade. Basically, it allows you to trade items for redstone. Like you can use redstone to charge it, and then it will duplicate items for you, which is semi-useful. It can be a good way to possibly get nether stars or something like that, but I'm not too worried about that particular item right this very second. So let's take a sleep, and let's see if I can make this this Rending Gale staff thing, and we'll see how that works. I've never used it before, but it seems like it might be a good option. So let's put all of that away. Let's look at the Rending Gale. We need to make an empty void tier, and I don't have any gas tiers. I have... Ah, man, I'm gonna have to go into the nether after all. I was really hoping I wouldn't, because I need a... Ah, man. Is there a way to make gas tiers? No, it's basically just... You gotta kill a ghast. Okay. Maybe I should make a tinker's bow or crossbow. That would probably be a good idea. Longbow, high damage but is less mobile. Slow but very powerful. Do I want to do the crossbow? Bowlim. Tough tool rod, tough binding bowstring. I'm kind of leaning towards the crossbow. I do love me some Tinker's crossbow. Maybe we'll do that. Anyway, let me get to work on a little bit of a Tinker's item here, and then I'll come back to you. All right, guys, I am back, and I did go ahead and make myself a Tinker's crossbow. I went with Electrum Bowlim, Cobalt crossbar, copper tool rod, and then just a regular string. Bowstring, and then for my bolt, it's bone with a manulin tip and slime leaf fletching. And hopefully it'll work. Now, I don't know... Oh, so you actually... Oh, that has changed. That has definitely changed. So basically, when you fire... You pull, like, you draw the bow, and then it clicks, and then you can fire afterwards. Like, that's a bit different. It used to be that it would work just like a regular bow. You would hold it down until you got to the point where it was fully drawn, and then you could release left click, and it would fire. But this apparently works very different now. That's kind of that's interesting. Go away. Like, here I'm holding it down. And then I let go of the mouse right there, and it clicks. And now it just stays drawn. So essentially what you're going to want to do... Oh, and then actually the cool thing about that is that it stays drawn. So, like, I can instantly fire it if I haven't actually run into an enemy yet. I think I like that quite a lot, actually. That's pretty cool. Anyway... We got our gas tier that we needed. Let's see if we can make this rending gale thing and try it out. Because flight would be pretty amazing. That door. Got it. Okay, so let's try out this rending gale thing now that we have our gas tier that we needed. Let's swing down into the basement like so, and we'll just put all of this stuff away that I don't need anymore. Okay. So, I needed an empty void tier, and then with that, I can make the rending gale. Okay, so, according to JEI, according to what I'm reading, and apparently you can, like, put this on or something. You've said I can, like, equip the backpack, but I don't know. I'm getting sidetracked. So apparently, if I hold the rending gale and I look in a direction, it doesn't say. Allows the player to fly by pointing at the direction they want to go. Note that it doesn't have feather falling, but pointing it towards ground and keeping the button press cancels fall damage. It allows pushing or pulling entities and spawning bolts during thunderstorm when the player points. You can cycle through these modes by shift left clicking. Okay. So it's in flight mode. Does it need some sort of a charge? Like, does it require... Oh, it says shift right click to auto absorb. So what does it actually run on? Does it run on redstone? A lot of the stuff in Reliquary does. Shift plus right click to total automatically absorbs feathers. Oh. So it has 12 feathers in it now. This is not going to be nearly as good as I had thought. Although the feathers, it does seem to last. I mean, you get a decent amount. You get a decent amount of flight with it for a feather. But still, unless we have a way to get lots and lots of feathers, that's not going to do us a lot of good. Is there a way to craft them? No, it's basically just drops from chickens. Other than this UU matter, which is like super late game. Dang it. I wish it had said that in the tooltip in JEI. Because that's not exactly like I can fly forever with it. You know what I mean? Okay, maybe we try making the jetpack instead. Okay, so I think I have everything I need to make the tier 1 jetpack. I just need to make a couple of these insulated redstone circuits from Ender.io. And then we'll need 2 of those, and there we go. There's the basic jetpack. Now, it's not great. The basic jetpack kind of stinks, actually. You really don't get a whole lot of flight out of it. So I would really like to upgrade right away to this electrical steel one, the tier 2 jetpack, which is a lot better. It's still not super good, but it's a lot better than the other one. And upgrading to the tier 3 is going to take some doing because of these pulsating, well, surrounding a diamond. Actually, I could afford that. Because here we just need electrical steel. Yeah, I could afford the tier 3. I could make that work. Yeah, let me do that. I'll be back with you. Alright guys, I am back, and I went ahead and I made the energetic jetpack, and it's all filled up. I should probably mention, the Flux network controller that we made earlier in the episode, this thing, actually has the ability, if you turn this to on, this transmitter mode right here on your network, it will wirelessly charge any of your items that have RF, and it seems to be really quick, actually, so that's really good. That's really, really good. But one downside to wearing a jetpack is that your armor really kind of takes a hit. So let's take a look and see. I can make silicon armor plating, and then I can upgrade that in an alloy smelter using 10 conductive iron, like so. And then I think I can upgrade that using electrical steel. And I think this will give me essentially iron level protection. Something like that. It'll just smelt up real quick like that. Toss that in here like so. And there we go. So we've got electrical steel armor plating. If we put this on, there we go. And then put it on ourselves, that gives us pretty good protection. I think we're basically set with this. And this thing has 4 million RF fuel capacity. That's going to allow us to fly for a pretty long time and get around the nether and all that kind of good stuff as well. So I'm pretty happy about that. Now, from looking at, there's a website called Mine Atlas. You could also use Amidst. But basically, from looking at a map, an external map with the seed, I know that way down here, like about, 5,000 blocks or so, way down there, there is an ice biome, right? And I really need to get a blizz. Like, that's super, super important. So that I can set up a blizz farm and make all the cryothium that I could ever want. Now, the thing is, yes, I could get blizz powder using redstone and glowstone, but honestly, that's a pain, and I don't really have a whole lot of glowstone anyway, so I'd prefer to just set up a proper blizz farm, call it good. I think that's a much better option. So what we're going to do, I'm going to make another soul vial or 2. And then we're going to grab some obsidian, like so. We'll grab a flint and steel, and I'm going to have to travel in the nether. But I'm just going to make another portal in approximately the right spot, and hopefully it'll come out where we want. Alright guys, I am back. Here's our portal. So, essentially, what we need to do, and you know what I should do, is I should mark this portal. Let's say, ice portal. Save. There we go. I think this is the right place. I don't know for sure, though. And it's very hard to tell because obviously we're underground. So, if I've done my maths correctly, we should be right smack dab in the middle of an ice portal, or an ice plains or ice plains spikes biome. But what we're going to have to do is basically dig our way to the surface. You know what I should do? Be a little faster if I do it this way. We're just going to have to kind of dig our way to the surface and find out if that's true or not. Let's see. What Y level are we at? 39? Oh yeah, I got a ways to go. Let me dig for a while, guys. I'll be back with you. All right. So, this is definitely the right place. We got an ice plane spikes here. We got a bunch of mobs. So now what I need to do is I need to find a blizz. We need to be on the lookout. And if we can find a blizz, we'll be in really good shape, because then we'll be able to set up a blizz farm and get all the things. Is that one right over there? Or is that one? No, that's totally a blizz. Oh, that's what we need. Okay. Get him. There we go. Ow. All right, we got the blizz that we needed. That's fantastic. And maybe while we're here, we look around and we see if we can find another one. Nah, you know what? I think we're okay like this. I think we just need the one. But we have a blizz, which means blizz farm, which means all the cryotheum we could ever want, and then some. Now the question is, where did my little hole that I popped up through go? Please hole? I feel like it was right in the middle of a mountain. Oh, hi. There we go. Got him. It was definitely around here somewhere. Tell you what, let me find it, and I'll meet you back at the house. Alright guys, I am back, and actually, as I was exploring, I didn't even notice this when I found my main portal is there. My other portal is, like, right there. You can actually see it. But as I was exploring, I totally didn't even notice that this was here, and I'd love to get some of this magma slime. This could actually be really useful for some stuff later on. So I want to get a little bit of this before we head back. Plus, magma slimes are kind of annoyingly rare. So if we can get some, I don't know what all we would need it for, but these magma slime blocks right here, you can, I'm pretty sure, you can just turn them into regular slime balls. I was really hoping you could turn them into the magma slime, but hey, whatever. You know what? It's still free stuff. I'll take it. It's all good. You know, another thing I want to do while we're in the nether, I've got these diamond chest transporters, and these will essentially let me pick up and move spawners. Let's kill these blazes. There we go. And I'd like to grab a blaze spawner, maybe even 2 of them, just because they'll come in handy. Like, I need a good way to get blazes. So I think we'll grab a couple of those too. I mean, obviously, if I've got the cryotheum all set up, I'm also going to want to get pyrotheum set up, and pyrotheum requires blazes rather than blizzes. So, you know what? We'll take it. And also, I mean, chest transporters. Why not? All right, guys, I am back, and I'm going to call that a successful nether run for sure, / adventure. We got everything we needed. We needed our blizz rods, we got our blizzes, we got a couple blaze spawners. I mean, all in all, that's pretty fantastic. That was a very successful run. Now, we'll need to set up a blizz farm, and at this point, I'm thinking our next step is probably going to be to expand our reactor, because is our quarry done? Did it finish quarrying out that area? It totally did. Okay, so that's actually really good. Let's change this to 80% insertion. That should significantly decrease the amount of RF that this thing is generating, and it should significantly decrease our fuel consumption as well, which is good. And And we have a ton of resources. How are we doing on emeralds? We have 3. So not a whole lot of emeralds being quarried by the quarry. But that's okay. I think for the most part, everything is in good shape. We just need to set up a blizz farm. I think I do want to expand the reactor. We have that capability. We've got a ton of yellowite. And we also have tons of gold and all the other stuff that we need to do that. Let's throw these guys in here. We'll let those kind of do their thing. Let that start smelting up, and then actually we want that to output to here. Let's just reset, push. There we go. So it's going to, and pull from here, right? Yeah. So it'll take all this yellowite, push it over to the alloy smelter over here, which will quickly smelt it up and turn it into yellorium ingots so we can use it to expand our reactor, which is definitely something we're going to want to do. I think that's pretty good. Okay, one last thing I want to do before we go, and that is I want to make, we've got an Enderman farm right down here, but it's currently running on stone spikes as a killing mechanism, which is not exactly ideal, because you can only get basic drops. You just the only thing you can get is ender pearls. It won't give you any enderman heads or anything like that. So I'd like to actually upgrade that to diamond spikes, because these will drop player kill only items, such as, for example, the enderman heads that we need for a lot of Ender IO stuff. So I think we're going to make a few of these, and then we'll go like so. There we go. And then we'll sneak down here real quick. And let's get rid of the stone spikes. And we'll replace them with diamond ones like that. And I think we really only need those couple. Yeah, this one I'll hold off. There we go. And then I just need to make sure. Yeah, everything should be moved towards here. So if we turn this on and say always, everything should still get pushed to the diamond spikes where it should be killed and sucked up by our thingy, and it should all be good. So, let's just make sure that that is keeping up. Power-wise, oh yeah, we're still generating way more power than we need, so we're good. Because I think that spawner uses like 1800 RF per tick or something like that. Which means if we hook up the blizz spawner once we have it, we'll be able to get that going too, although I'm going to have to remake the farm a bit. But I want to get some more ender pearls so that when we do expand this guy, we'll be able to use the enderium, or the resonant ender, as a cooling material, because it does work pretty well. Eventually, we'll probably want to upgrade it to gelid cryothium, but I need the blizz farm first, and before I make the blizz farm, I want to make a much, much bigger reactor. Either way, though, guys, I am out of time for this episode, so we're going to have to wrap this one up right here. My friends, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.